Hello everyone and welcome to a bit of an update video. So I've just got back from Gamescom where I was invited by EA to fly out to Cologne in Germany to attend the gaming event. It was essentially what we actually were there for. Like, we were allowed to go around and actually see the different games and all the different gaming companies that were there, but we were essentially there to do an influencers workshop. So we went there to find out what they do to pick their influencers and how they work with them, and she answered a big question which I think I should say in this video, because a lot of people wonder what qualifies you to get early access codes and who gets to go to creators camp and all of that sort of thing, and there isn't actually any requirements for it. She actually said that this is Sim Guru Drake, she was doing the talk, and she's the one who emailed me and asked me to come to the event. There aren't actually any really criteria. You don't have to have a certain number of subscribers or a certain number of views. It's more just what you do in the community. They're interested in everyone. They had YouTubers there, they had bloggers there who write sim stories, they just have people who are really active on Twitter in the simming community. You don't really have to even be a YouTuber to be there. Not everyone was. So, you know, there was a lady there from The Sims Online. She writes all the, you know, articles and things and has her own like fan site. You don't have to be a YouTuber and you don't have to have hundreds and thousands of subscribers to be part of the program, and I thought that was amazing. And if you would like to be interested or you would like to be part of it, all you have to do is ask, really, and they'll see what they can do. She said she'd rarely ever says no, so it's worth a shot to see if you can get yourself on the program doing something that you're interested in. Another thing that I'd like to mention also is the fact that a lot of YouTubers get stick for getting early access codes, but what a lot of people don't actually know is these early access codes don't mean that they get to keep the game forever for free. I'm actually a little bit wonky. They don't actually get to keep those codes. After 7 days the code runs out and that review copy is gone. It is literally a review copy. They are there to have that game before it comes out so that they can have their video ready for you guys when the release time comes, so that you guys have something to reference when you want to decide whether you want to buy the game or not. They're there to influence you because your opinion matters to them. So if they have it before everyone else, then they're able to have their own opinion, negative or positive, outline the whole pack, whichever one it is, and give you guys their feedback so that you can decide whether it's worth purchasing or not. That is essentially what it is. It's not just they get it to have it for free because they have 100,000 subscribers, because that pack is gone after 7 days and then they have to go and buy it themselves, essentially. Another thing that I learned from the panel was that the Sims 4 team actually work really hard, harder than they did on The Sims 3, and a lot of people will find that hard to believe, but I am going to be writing an article about this for the Sims community, going into more detail with the actual slides up and everything, showing you what we learned about how they make the game, because we had the influencers talk and then we had the talk about how they actually make the game, and it was very interesting to see how hard they work on it. So for The Sims 3 they had there was a pie chart, and the majority of the pie chart was people working on expansions, and there was a tiny amount of people working on stuff packs, and then the rest was the store and I think bug fixes and things like that. For The Sims 4 on the other hand, they have a whole chunk for game packs which we didn't have before, so more work for them, and more members of staff working on patches and fixing the game. So it had a big chunk on expansions, a big chunk on game packs, and the rest was on bug fixes, stuff packs, and all the other stuff that comes with the game production. And a lot more goes into releasing a pack than you would think. Even naming the pack. See, we were all taking the mick when Get Together came out, saying, oh, why is it Get to work and then Get Together? The Sims gurus don't pick the name for the packs. They have an additional company pick the name for the packs. Even they were a bit like, really? You know, Sims Guru Drake was telling us that it's not them who gets to pick the name for the pack. A different company within the production team chooses the name for the packs and when they're released. So they make the packs, they pick what they want to theme it around. Say for backyard stuff they wanted to make slip and slides and lemonade stands and all that kind of thing, and then they send it off to say, oh yeah, we're finished, and that company decides, yeah, we're going to call this backyard stuff. They even said that for Cool Kitchen, a lot of us were like, oh, why did they call it Cool Kitchen? It was mainly Creator Sim, there wasn't actually many kitchen items, and they were thinking this themselves. They were thinking, why have they named it this? So it's not, the Sim Gurus get a lot of stick for everything that happens when most of it is completely out of their hands. But back to the production time. So we got shown like a timetable sort of thing, and it showed how many packs they were working on at a time and each stage that goes through making each pack. So they have the stage for brainstorming, like coming up with the ideas and everything. Then they have to pitch the idea, you know, get it approved so that they can actually go ahead to send it to the production team to go ahead and actually make it and start programming it. Then when they've made the whole pack and they think, you know, we're ready to go with this, they've got to bug fix it, they've got to test it, they've got to make sure that it's working, and if it's not, they've got to fix it. But you know, obviously if it's fine, then it can go through the next stage, releasing it. Then they've got to pick a time to release it. So you know, they could be making this pack, but they might decide that they're not going to release this till next year or the year after. They're working on packs now that aren't being released until the next year or so. They're working on 4 or 5 packs at a time, whether this be stuff pack, game pack, expansion pack. They're working on 4 or 5 of these at a time, going through each of these stages every single time. So they're actually working very hard to get things out for us, even though we're impatient and we're constantly wanting new content and content that we want. A lot of the time they can't give us what we want when we want it, because they've made it all in advance and they've already planned when they're going to release it. So when we say, no, we want this, yeah, they can start making it, but we might not get it when we want, because they might have already made it, or it might be in a plan to make it later on. So it must be difficult to get these constant complaints about, oh, I want this and I want that, when really, you know, it isn't made on demand. It's made in a very strategic process that is obviously efficient for them and how they produce packs. So that was a really interesting thing to learn. But yeah, so that was they were the main things that I think I picked up from on the panel at EA in Gamescom. I also got this cool plump up headband. Another thing, I'm sorry the lighting's so bad right now, but it's kind of getting a bit dark. I hope it's not like too bad. I might put like Google on the screen so it's a bit brighter. There we go. I think my face is a bit brighter now. But yeah, so they were a few things that I learned from the panel that I think were really significant things that I didn't know, and I wish I knew before I went complaining to the gurus about everything, because it's really not their fault. Next, my channel. I'm going to be doing a tiny tweak to my channel. I will be stopping Dreamful Chapters. Nobody's really asked for it, to be honest. Nobody's asked for it's been, but I kind of, when I was at Gamescom, I kind of had a bit of an epiphany of what I wanted to do when I finished university, and I kind of think I want to work in the gaming industry. Obviously it's really hard to get into, but that's me going off on a rant. That's not what I'm here to talk about. Dreamful Chapters, I don't think I'm going to have it on the channel anymore, mainly because nobody watches it, nobody's really that fussed about it, and I just don't see the point in continuing it, because I'm also not motivated to record it. Like, it feels like a chore to record, so I don't really want to continue with it. Obviously if there's a massive uproar, I'll carry on and try and persevere with it, but honestly a lot of you probably don't even know that I was doing it, or even remember, or even care, to be honest. The Sims didn't go anywhere. We're continuing with the Land and Legacy and the Teen Pregnancy Challenge. I do want to do more builds on the channel because they seem to be really popular at the moment, and I just want to do, it's not I don't want to do other games, I just don't want to do Dreamful Chapters right now. There are a few shorter games, newer games that I want to showcase on the channel, and I've written a list of them. I've got like a book here, and I've been writing lists. I've been writing lists of things that I want to do. I've just been like trying to like just revamp the channel and get it like to be proud of it. Like, I don't want to be thinking, oh, I need to change this and I need to change that. Like, I just want to be proud of it, and I want it to be what I want it to be. You may have noticed that I also have a new banner. This was hand drawn digitally by Oh My Plum Bob. Definitely go and check her out. I'll leave a link in the description. It's absolutely amazing. She also made my new branding, which you'll see in a little corner. It used to be a picture of my face, but now it says LMS with a little plum bob on it. And she made me a new icon as well, but I've kept my old one just because I love it so much. But I will use my new one at some point. I may put my new one on Twitter or something. But yeah, so that's just a tiny update on the channel. I just want a few new games. Obviously I'm not going to do them all at once. They're short. I love indie games, okay? I love indie games. I love like short mini indie games with really strong stories, and there are quite a few that I really want to play and I really want to showcase on the channel. We Happy Few is one of them. I'm dying to play this game. I definitely want to buy it at some point, and I don't know if I'll play it all the way through, but I definitely want to do like an overview or a review of it or something on my channel, because you guys need to see this game. It's by the same people who made Contrast Compulsion Games. I'd love to work for these people. I love them. I love their games. So yeah, I really want to showcase that. So yeah, that is the end of this little mini update video. I wanted to do it like a face video because I feel like I'm definitely more confident at showing my face on my channel now. I've done it a few times and nobody has been really horrible to me. Most people are like, oh my god, I didn't expect you to look like this. I think one person said they thought I was white, and I just thought, my icon isn't of a white person. I am brown. But yeah, so you guys are lovely. Thank you so much for watching this update video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.